Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us for the look back for Positively Positive, which is hosted by Susan Lemitz. And you will get to see her beautiful face up next. And so we are going to be chopping it up tonight to talk about what a year we've had and look at some of the past conversations and just talk about a couple of things. As we're getting it ready to kind of like wrap up season one, and then we're gonna like take off for the rest of the summer into the fall, and then we'll be back again with season two. So continue to like, share, and follow. If you've missed any of the previous episodes, please go back and check them out. They're super super wonderful. Lots and lots of information and tons of resources are always available on the site. So we're going to jump right in. And then the next person you will see is Susan Lee Mintz, and she's going to chop it up with you. And then you'll see both of us on the screen. And we may have some guests that may pop in tonight. And as they do, we will bring them on. And if they don't, then you'll just have the two of us and we'll continue to talk and share. And it's going to be an amazing night. Again, thank you for watching the shows. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for all your comments. And thank you for uh, listening, watching, sharing, commenting. If you've liked the page, if you haven't liked it yet, continue to like it and share it. We love to have you, and thank you for being either a guest or being a viewer of our show. It's been absolutely amazing to have you. And so we just want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
What an amazing year we have had. When you start something from scratch that's never been done before, don't expect overnight that the world will know you or that that's your goal. When I met Ricciardo, he just wanted to interview me about my story, my books, what I was doing. And I went on his podcast and I just said a show like this was needed. And he said, let's do it. And we did it a whole year. We started in October, probably around 25 episodes, series, podcasts, shows, with guests from all over the country, with agencies, federal agencies, county agencies, state agencies. And it has, the people we've met have been so different and diverse, and yet they all shared a common thread. They wanted to tell their story about HIV and AIDS, whether it was personal or it was a job, whether it was just compassion or a spirit that led them. But Ricciardo knew we had something that was very valuable to a lot of people, and that would be information, resources, love, kindness, and a show that there was none other like it. You know that I always think of Debbie Fields, Mrs. Fields Cookies. She started in her garage baking cookies. And since she couldn't sell them then, she went over to the high school or one of the schools. She started giving the cookies out. And slowly, Mrs. Fields' chocolate chip cookies became an overnight success. Don't expect it. I thought decades ago that I would be an overnight success, but I am because I'm still doing what I know I'm called to do, and that's speak openly and honestly about HIV and AIDS because it hasn't gone away. And there are people living in silence, afraid because of the stigma. We had a couple of guests on that were from uh, two African nations. I think one was Guyana, French Guiana, I think it was, and the other was Uganda. And they had to leave their country for fear of being killed. And they came to New York. Someone else, I think, went to Washington. So we are blessed to be able to do what we do. Does the internet go down? Of course. Do we panic? No. We just wait for it to pass and we go back on. People come and go. They're going to go in and out of your life. But are you consistent? Are you consistent in what you believe? Are you faithful to what you know is good and true and right? Are you honestly putting your head down on the pillow and knowing you've done all you could do? Ask yourself some questions. As a writer, many times I would open up my stories. When I was writing for newspapers or magazines, I would open up my stories with questions because I wanted you to think. That's what even my books are about. It's not a fairy tale. Life is not a fairy tale. You will have highs and lows. You'll have right turns and left turns. You'll have potholes and detours. You're going to have disappointments, rejections, and a lot of crap thrown at you. But you know what? You're stronger than you probably think you are. Don't carry your burdens around. Talk about HIV. Start bringing the media into this. Talk to your newspapers if they still exist. Call your local stations and say, why aren't you covering World AIDS Day? Why aren't you covering people in the area who are talking about HIV? What are you doing to help the problem? What solution are you bringing into a problem? Are you talking about problems or are you doing something to help? I will always be committed to love, as my book will tell you. I will always, and I held their hands with a hospice heart, as my other book says. I write about life, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Clint Eastwood did a great movie. So I look at you tonight and I say, for those of you who are ashamed, afraid, fearful, don't be. Stand up straight, walk tall, and you tell everybody in the world who you are. And write. Write your story out. Whether it's just in a diary or a journal, whether it's to be published, whether it's not, whether it's personal or it's for the world, as mine is on Amazon and Barnes & Noble and SusanMintz.com. My books are available and they've done very well because some people knew that I had a story of great love and courage to tell. What's your story? Who's hearing your story about HIV? Is there another show like this that you know of anywhere in the world? Where every week, every other week, we talked about HIV to someone? You know there isn't because there was a need. And Richardo Jackson knew it and gave me a chance to use the gift God gave me. And that's to talk. I can talk. And I won't talk about stuff I don't know. But I know about HIV. And I know about how I got through my 25-year marriage to a bisexual man who passed from AIDS in 1994, AIDS-related pneumonia, on August 17th. Yeah, I wrote it down. I wrote it down every day for over 2 years. But I said on every page, one day, Jeffrey, our story will be told in a series or a movie, and I don't know when or where or why or how, but it will. A love story can change the world. A story can change the world. Your story could change the world, and you don't even know it. Why? Because you're not willing to step out. Take a chance. Take that leap of faith. You can do it. What are you burning with in your belly? What's in your heart? What's in your gut that you want to get out of you? What's in your head that's keeping you up at night? What is your story? And if you have a story about HIV and AIDS, don't you be ashamed, because now people are more open than ever. There are safe places for the LGBTQ people to go. There are safe places for you. But you might be the one who takes it in the community and ends up being the vocal person in that area, the proud person who didn't let rejections hurt you. The more the rejections came and the more the no's came, the more you went forward, determined. I don't accept that. No, I don't like the word no. No means not now. Don't be a not now. Yes, be a not now. It's just not your time. But HIV hasn't gone away, and it's not going to be. Do I encourage you to get tested regularly? That's what Campbell Health Solutions is about with Ricardo Jackson. In his own company, starting his own business almost 3 years ago. 3 years ago, let's say, to round it off. He started his own company. He had opportunities to do other things, but he saw the need in Palm Beach County. He had a background from all over the country, different states. He had an amazing background, but he said, there is an opportunity to do something different. He opened up his own HIV testing and resource center and availability to get you to where you need to go in Palm Beach County. Man is incredible. And then I found him and he found me, and together we're doing something never been done before, because he had the guts to try something that he'd never done. He took his leap of faith and met another woman who said, why not? And together, we have helped many, many, many hundreds of people by bringing their stories forth. So you get your test. You get a good doctor you like. You get on medications early now. It's not like it was in the 80s and 90s, even in the beginning 2000s. I think the meds killed more people than the HIV did. The meds were brutal. Now, take them every day. Don't get off. Take your meds every single day. But I've had long-term survivors on now over 30 years. Go to SusanMintz.com and see the Positively Positive podcast. Click on that link and you'll see all the shows we've done. They're all there. Positively Positive podcast. I'm having a new site done, brand new, bring it into the 21st century show, but everything's there. Books page, photos, it's all there. But the podcast, go back or go to Campbell Health Solutions and click on videos. Click on Campbell Health Solutions and see what this man is doing. But a team works better than one. A team. We have become a team in this. That's the difference. We're okay by ourselves. Everyone is an entity unto themselves. But he and I together are joined in a mission. God brought us together. Don't have to have the faith I have. But I think today it's important to have it more than ever. You have to have faith today. You will not get through your life if you don't believe, have hope and faith. We're on the precipice of something that no one's ever seen before. So you are probably more valuable today than perhaps you've ever been. Think about it that way. Perhaps you are more valuable than you have ever been because of these crazy, apocalyptic, ridiculously horrible, ego driven, maniacal times we are in. You could be the one. Richardo was the one. Took a leap of faith and started his own company. Mm-hmm. I've been taking leaps of faith since I was a kid. Nothing was ever going to stop me but the good Lord Himself. So, I mean, I've always been out there. I never fit in a box, and I will never will. Never, ever will. It's the outrageousness of my life. My life has been crazy. My marriage was crazy. His friendship was amazing, and I miss him terribly. But there's more. And until God takes me, there's more. There's more people to help. There's more things to do. There's more kindness to share. And there's more drug pharmaceutical companies out there that just might be looking for someone like me to be able to promote their product. They're on TV all the time. All of these people looking happy and healthy, and it's wonderful. It's like eating a candy bar. So maybe some nice pharmaceutical company might like to have a mature, well-spoken, articulate woman, 78, from Boca Raton, Florida, to promote their drug instead of paying a whole bunch of miscellaneous people to do it. You could have me. A sponsor? You could have me personally. Why don't you? Why isn't someone out there taking Positively Positive on? Richardo did. He's amazing. Campbell Health, here it is. Visit Campbell Health Solutions at www.campbellhealth.org. SusanMintz.com. You can reach us anytime. But you know my story, and if you want it, the books are available. My website's there. I'm an open book. There's nothing about my life I won't talk about. And I want my own show big time. I want a national show. I'm being real honest. I want to be national. I want to be streaming on some network talking about whatever issue you want me to talk about that's related to HIV. And I want to have a guest on. Maybe two. Maybe a whole group on. And we just start brainstorming and talking openly. I'm ready for national. I know I am. Are you ready? I want a talk show like this that streams. I want a radio program. I want my books published and my big book, Committed to Love, made into a 9-episode series on Netflix. It's still the biggest and the best. So will I keep on hoping? You bet I will. Will I stop? Never. Will I take the hits? Bring them on. Bring the hits on. I cherish them. Because the more I get to, the more hits I take, that means I got to you. You may not want me now, and I may not want you, but I got to you. Every rejection. I have 2 inches full of rejections over the years. And you know what? Most of those people are dead, or this new generation would never have heard of them. I've got longevity as a gift, as a bonus. My silver hair and outrageousness is a gift. It's a bonus in my life. I can be as outrageous as I want, and it works for me. See? Who are you? Are you willing to step out and be who you are? Do it. You might be really amazed at how liberating your life could be by getting out of yourself and doing what you know you're called to do. I feel like I'm giving a sermon. I've spoken for 20 minutes and I haven't stopped. Can I do a talk show? In a heartbeat, I am. Could I do a national show in a heartbeat, streaming on something once a week? I could do it every day, except I couldn't find the time to put the makeup on and do all that. That's exhausting at my age. Oh, I'm ready for my producer to come on, wherever he is. He's somewhere. He'll be on soon. But hasn't this been a marvelous year? Oh, the stories we've told, the people we've met. It's been marvelous. I've never heard, I mean, I've been around HIV for 40 years. Never ever heard so much diversification. I think I was in a bubble for a while too. My journey after Jeff died took me to help my folks out who were aging. That's how hospice got involved, and I went working with hospice. So I think a part of it is I had to settle down a bit and kind of go under a rock. It took a while to do the books, decide how I wanted to publish. And everything is research, and you just have to keep going. And I think that's what's so amazing is the opportunities kept coming because I never stopped. I'm not. Somebody wants to come on tonight? You got the link? Come on. If not, we're good. We committed to a time and we're doing it. I just want to see my handsome producer at some point. But I can still talk about anything you want, especially when it's HIV. It's so personal. You know, I knew that Jeff, with his bisexuality, I didn't know that when we were married. Jeff told me afterwards he was my best friend for many, many years. Since we were 11, we met. And I knew he was just always with girls. I was so jealous. And we were always on and off again. There was such chemistry between us. And, you know, one night we had sex. My parents were out of town. And we got drunk. And 6 weeks later, I was very pregnant. We got married. 2 Jewish kids from Troy, New York. What did we know in 1969? We got married. And 4 months later, on my honeymoon, he told me he thinks he's bisexual because he's had some affairs with guys in college. I had no idea what that meant at that point, but yet I did because I always had a gay friend. I was always involved with somebody who was gay. But I didn't expect it to be my husband, obviously. I was not part of handsome Dr. Jeffrey. Jeffrey Mintz, the handsomest kid in high school, the handsomest, the college president. No, it was not something I planned on. But it was. And I committed to him. I committed to God in my marriage. And it was a stormy marriage, you can imagine. But you know what? It was mine. It was my marriage, my life with him. And I miss it. I miss the craziness and the outrageousness and the trips. I miss it. But did I go under the covers and not bring my head out and put on 50 pounds and feel sorry for myself? No way. I had about a month of it until I needed to go up to New York and take care of my parents for 10 years in a hospice, and get involved with the church, write the books, and volunteer in the community. No, I didn't hide from it. I threw myself into it. HIV is my life. Any opportunity that comes along, HIV is my life. And wherever it is, I'll go. Wherever it takes me, I am. Yep. My commitment is not just to love. My commitment is to God. And my commitment is my stories we're telling to the world. And I will believe that there is some very major player out there that wants it. Yep. And God knows when he's ready to do it. Yep. That's faith. So SusanMintz.com. Here I am, all bejeweled. I do love the accessories. In fact, I've had a few. I was using turbans. I was wearing turbans for the whole season. And I had some people say that they tuned in just to see the color of my hats and my sunglasses, which I should go and take and get because they're stunning. I'm going to just leave the screen for one moment and go get my sunglasses. They're just so beautiful. Wait. Richardo, come in. Here we go. Now I am who I'm supposed to be here. Okay. Now you got me. Here I am. Okay. No. Eat your heart out. Is this not a character or creation? An ordained show to talk about HIV? You bet it is. You think I take myself seriously? Nope. I take my life seriously. I take life seriously, but do you think I take myself seriously? No, no. I'm just a little woman who has had an amazing life and wants more. That's all. I just want more. And it'll come when it's supposed to because there's more people to help. There's more community to help. There's more need. There's more everything. You are the person that you are called to be when you finally accept it and deal with it. But don't you hide from being HIV positive. Don't you be ashamed. Don't you hide from the stigma of it. You will hit that. You put that devil under your feet. You look at that person and say, shame on you. How dare you? I am one of God's children. I have value. I am worth it. Who are you to tell me anything? Who are you? You just stare at them and you tell them and you say, who are you to judge me? Judge not. Judge not, lest you be judged. So I want to see more activism in the HIV/AIDS community. I don't want to see it just with the LGBTQ community. No. People have to get in the streets again. Demand that HIV be talked about again openly. Demand the medications be less expensive. Demand that our government, who's never been here to take care of you, does something more nationally to speak about it on the days, especially World AIDS Day, National HIV Testing Day. Your local channels hardly even carry it anymore. Your local channels don't even mention it anymore. That's the sadness. My local stations in West Palm Beach, they don't even talk about it. They used to when I was out there really in the beginning. In 94, I knew all the reporters. I was on all the time. Now, they don't want this. They want politics. They want confrontation. They want negativity. They want ratings. That's not what HIV and AIDS is about. It's not about ratings. It's about being positive, about being healthy, about being whole, about having faith and hope and helping people. It's not negativity. It's totally positive. That's why the show is called Positively Positive. HIV is a positively positive show. And a woman, Susan Lee Mintz in Boca Raton and Richardo Jackson in West Palm Beach, we are a team and we are making a difference. So get ready for this second season that's going to come. However it's going to play out. It'll be outrageous at times. It'll be informational, educational, motivational, and inspirational. Do we have any more ales than that? Get ready. We have only just begun. That song, remember? We've only just begun. We've just started the ball rolling because HIV has been quiet for way too long. There's that man I adore. My CEO, my producer, my director, and my sponsor. I talked for almost half an hour. Do you realize how easy that was?
Of course.
Yes. And then when he and I are not recording, he sits there and I say, would you say something to me? Would you talk to me? And I'm chapping away all the time. And then finally he might say, I'm trying to do something. And I said, oh, then just tell me. Just tell me that you're doing something and I will be quiet. If not, why aren't you talking to me? And just sitting there. And I think, because I keep talking. I don't have any problem talking, do I? Nope, not a bit. So I talked about the show. I'm sure you were listening because you were recording. So what's in the pipeline for us coming up, my friend?
Well, I mean, we have a couple more shows to air, and then we're wrapping up for this season, and then we're bringing you all new stuff for season 2.
Yeah.
So you have to stay tuned, continue to like and share, and just follow. And during the break, over the next couple of weeks, take the opportunity to go back and watch some of the previous videos and see some of the things we talked about. And always feel free to like and share.
And that's what's nice is these segments, these podcasts are available all the time. And just because somebody may not watch it tonight, that doesn't mean that in 2 months somebody might say something, or 3 months. Next thing you know, they go on and they go, wow. And next thing you know, they're hooked into a series. We really are a series.
Yeah.
I didn't look at it that way until right now. We're
Yeah.
a series. Really, I just thought of it because I started thinking of Netflix and how people get hooked up on the HBO series and the Peacock series. And I just realized we're a series. We did almost a whole year, 9 months, 10 months.
Yeah, we've been doing this for a couple of months now. So
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, a couple of months, right. And we had storms bother. We had so many issues. We had mic issues, storm issues, dropped issues. Our man upstairs who was always falling down with the noise. And I mean, just we had so many issues in the beginning, and it was like frustrating. But did we keep going? Yes.
Absolutely.
Yep.
The show must go on, and the services must go on. We do provide a lot of services to folks here in Palm Beach County, but we don't only serve Palm Beach County. We serve a lot of South Florida, and sorry, I'm ringing. We serve a lot of South Florida, and also we have virtual health services as well. So folks can get at us at different points throughout the year, and then we can go from there. We do provide some mobile screenings. We also provide screenings on site for STDs, STIs, HIV, Hep C, PEP, um, and we have flexible hours, and we can work with you in between those flexible hours. So if you have questions or need some services, definitely you can call or text the number that's on the screen, 561-787-3035. And we will do all we can to ensure that you get all the services you need. And we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization, so all your donations are tax deductible. So if you would like to make a donation to us, you can actually text CHS to 53555 and make a donation to us to continue the work that we're doing. Um, so we're excited. We're always excited about the show. We're always excited about who's coming up next, and we're always excited about the topics and the conversations that we're having because they're so raw, they're so real, they're so honest, and we don't script anything. So what you see is what you get,
Yeah.
and that's just it. It's we're not, we say what we say and we mean what we say, and that's just it. And one thing is for sure, we are a LGBTQAI safe space, and we're open to everyone, but we make sure that we've created a safe space for LGBTQI folks. And we work a lot with low and middle income families, but we serve everyone regardless of your income status. And we serve everyone regardless of your race and ethnicity. Um, and that's just how we roll.
And where do you see and where are you located?
We have our office here in West Palm Beach, right on Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, next to Chick-fil-A, in the building with the Seacoast Bank. We're on the third floor, so we're at 2090 Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, Suite 300, West Palm Beach, Florida 33409. We're on the third floor, set next to. There are two buildings. They're very identical, but we're in the one with the Seacoast Bank, um, and on the third floor. So you can always call us, text us, and we will for sure um, get you the directions to where you need to go.
It was so interesting because I do kind of live in a bubble down here. South Florida, Boca is not West Palm Beach. It's not Belle Glade. It's not Lantana. I mean, people don't realize how big Palm Beach County is
Yeah.
and how diversified it is. And I only go to West Palm Beach on occasion to see my friend Rob Scott with the health department. I go on Saturdays most of the time. And then Rob said to me, he said, you got to get in touch with Richardo Jackson because you'd be a good, great guest because he has this show, this podcast. And he told Richardo that, he told me that. And of course, I jump right on and I'll do anything I can to be on his TV. I mean, once the camera rolls, I don't care who you are. I just love being on camera. I just love it. I always have loved it. So anyway, I had to go up there. He told me where it was. I was breaking out in a sweat, even getting past Belvedere, where Rob lives, because I'd never been up the Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard and getting into that Seacoast Bank. I mean, I was a mess just the first time getting on his show, but once we started to talk, I was fine. Rob says I get lathered up quickly. That's his term for me. You get so lathered up, but then I delather quickly, if that's a word, or unlathered. But that's what I'm looking at. Yeah, I get crazy a lot of times. I'm emotionally crazy. I panic. I go nuts for a bit, and then as soon as I get it over with, I'm fine. It's like pee and move on. So it's just interesting because I came on there and had no clue about anything. I'd never really met him. I don't think I met you. And just, we clicked. That's life. Can't
Yeah,
make it happen.
that was your first time. The energies were great. And that's kind of like how we approach things, and we want to make sure that we're connecting with the right people, and also that we're connecting with the right energies and the right synergies to make things happen. And
Mm-hmm.
so, yeah, if you want to see more things happening in your community, then we encourage you to get involved. And you can reach out to organizations like myself, who will work with you and collaborate with you to ensure that your community has the resources that it needs to do the things that it needs to be done. So, visit our social media pages. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok,
LinkedIn.
Facebook, LinkedIn, um, all of those sites, because it has, oh, I think we have a thing up here. Yep. YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. That's where the show is aired, but you can also find us on Instagram and TikTok. And you can check out some of our content that we've been creating and posting over the last couple of months. Um,
I mean, you had no problem working. You've worked in other positions where you had salaries and everything was your job. I mean, you were pretty self sufficient. And then what made you want to all of a sudden go into your own full time business? Open up Campbell Health Solutions. How did that happen? And you
because
took
it
that
was
leap of
time.
faith.
It was time. It was
Really?
time. I've worked in HIV prevention for 24 years now. And so it was just time. After 20 years of doing it for someone else, I think it was just time to do it for myself. And
Mm-hmm.
so, when I go someplace, I always want to make sure that I feel comfortable. I want to make sure that the environment is great. I want to feel safe. I want to be able to access services and not just be sitting there the whole day. And I don't want to have to go through like 10 different people to get what I need. And so we've created an environment where that is exactly what we've done. You feel comfortable, you feel safe. You don't have to go through 10 people to get what you need. And
Mm-hmm.
you can get your services and be in and out. And so, you know, obviously, if everybody comes, we may have a little bit of a bottleneck, but I think that we can work it out where folks can
Yeah.
get in and out as soon as possible. Our average stay is probably about, I don't know, 20 minutes.
Your what?
Our average visit is about 15 to 20
Oh,
minutes.
yeah. A lot can get done in that time.
Yeah, we do get a lot done in that time,
Yeah.
and so people, you come in prepared, and we're prepared for you coming, and boom, 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 and you're done, in and out.
But you've connected with someone who cares,
Yeah,
who is kind,
in a way
who
that's
has resources, who can network, market, they can network you to the right people anywhere in the country. He's got amazing contacts. So if you don't know, you call Campbell Health Solutions. You call, and he can connect you with somebody in your area. That's what's so wonderful about this man is he has the contacts because he has the experience. But one day he said, "It's time."
yeah, it's time. There can be
It's
plenty other stories, but the most important one is the one that you have carved out for yourself. And
right.
so I choose to chart my own path. And I mean, I am a person of faith, and I believe in God. So I believe that I was led towards this journey. And so,
Yeah.
regardless of how people feel about it, that's not really my concern. My concern is that, I had this calling on my life, and this is what I got up and I did. And so
Yeah.
I just went. I listened and I followed, and here we are. And so, what I've continued to do is just continue to make it better each and every day, and continue to work towards improving it, so this way it continues to get better each and every day, and making it efficient and convenient. And so, yeah, you know,
But you have a husband and two children and a full-time company. I mean, you have a pretty, and you're the chair of the HIV Care Council of Palm Beach County, and you sponsor walks, which you have a walk coming up, which you should tell everybody about. You're very humble in many ways. I'm the opposite. I am humble, but I have a big mouth, and I'm get everything out. He's got so much going on, but he finds the time. He functions at a different level than I do. I want everything done yesterday. He's much more laid back. He gets it done, and he'll do it, but he does it more when it is. But me, I'm the impatient one. He never got upset with me once this whole year. He never yelled at me. He never got upset. He never said, "Shut up, big mouth." He never said, "Put your wig back on or put the turban on." He never once said, "Do you realize what you do and what you say? Would you be quiet for a few minutes and give somebody a chance?" He was so cool. He just let it flow. He's just let me go. He's never challenged me. He's never threatened me. He's better than a husband. This guy's been better than a husband. We live in two different areas. He's in West Palm. I'm in Boca. That helps. He's married. I'm a widow. We're in great shape. We just are really good with HIV and helping people.
there
And we
you go.
want sponsors. We want big sponsors. We want big money because we have a gift that is to the people. And we need a big sponsor to take this show and his company out there. You can be a big infectious disease company. You can be a bunch of lawyers who love to advertise when there's a problem. And you could be a drug company or Walgreens or CVS or somebody else big. But this show, between the both of us, what we have stood for is you. We have stood for those who have no hope sometimes, who feel helpless, who feel underserved, underprivileged, diminished. You don't value your value. No, the two of us together as a team with Positively Positive, Susan Mintz with Richardo Jackson of Campbell Health Solutions, we have fought for you and we care about you and we always will because this is what God has put in our heart. I always say I was a 48-year-old widow. I was a bodybuilder. I was gorgeous. I had this thick red hair and this body that nobody could touch. I mean, I probably could have gone to a Jewish singles events or done the singles hits. I could easily have gone to some synagogues on a Friday night just for the cookies. And I guarantee you, I could have remarried somebody older, very wealthy, and but nobody could match my husband. Nobody was Jeffrey. Nobody could give me the life I had with this incredible man. And nobody could touch my heart. So there was no way I was ever getting remarried. I didn't want a relationship. I stayed true to HIV. That was the call in my heart. HIV is the call in my heart. And that's where he is. STDs, HIV, sexuality, it doesn't matter. He'll help you to get your help. Here you go. He'll help you, he'll assist you for you to get your assistance. So prophetic. God, it's a book in itself. Oh.
You kind of like you have to love people, and you have to be someone who understands service to community. And so when you understand service to community, you kind of like know what you have to do in order to be able to serve in that capacity. And I think once you figure that out, you figured out your calling, you figured out your mission, and it's not for everybody, you know. And I just practice staying in my own lane. I don't need to do everything. I don't need to do all things. I can only do the things that are in my ability and in my repertoire,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I've done. If something comes up and I'm like, oh, let's just try it and see where it goes. We try it and see where it goes, and if it fails, then we kind of like examine what is the reason why it didn't succeed, and we look for the answers and we move forward. So we're not afraid to fail
Reboot.
forward, for sure.
Mm-mm.
We're absolutely not afraid to fail forward, because when you fail forward, you're learning. I think it's when people make mistakes and they
Mm.
fail, they sit in it and they wallow in it, and they never really learn the lessons, then they get stuck. And so you can't be stuck. Don't allow failure to make you stuck. Learn the
Mm-hmm.
lessons and fail forward and keep moving forward one step at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And so this journey hasn't been, without its challenges. Um, but if you surround yourself with the right people, with the right support system, the right mentors, you'll find out that you can do things, great, amazing things. That you just need to have the right support system in place, and and the right people.
Mm-hmm.
And believe me, some people will come pretending, let's say like a sheep, like a wolf in sheep's clothing. People will come like that, right? Because their intention is to get what you have without
Uh-huh.
without working for it.
That's
And so,
right.
and you know what, I get it. I get it. You want easy, but you have to understand that someone worked really, really hard to be where they are, and to get where they are, and to have the things that they have. And so a lot of times people see what you've accomplished and they're like, oh, I want that. But they're not willing to do the work. They're not willing to make the sacrifices. If they can only see behind the scenes, right?
Oh, gosh.
Sacrifices, the amount of hours, the amount of time, the amount of days you have to put in, you know,
The
doing
tears, the
things,
tears shed.
the tears.
Uh-huh. Walking the floor at night, wondering why me, and then why
Exactly.
not?
So if they only see those things and see how hard you have, how much energy and time you have to put into it, and how hard you have to work at being successful and being where you are, a lot of people won't even want to do it.
No. They'll do drugs, they'll do alcohol, they'll do pornography, they'll gamble, they'll do a whole bunch of things. And you know what? They'll wake up the next morning and they'll be more miserable than ever.
Absolutely. And so, it's just you have to know what your purpose is in life, and you have to get up every day and walk
Live
in
it.
that purpose. And
Live
that's
it.
how
Live
you
your
win.
purpose out.
That's how you win every day. You walking.
And it doesn't have to be a big purpose. That's the other. It doesn't have to be big because I want big, and I do. I've always wanted more, bigger, greater, grander, and more. It's my nature. I want more, but that doesn't have to be the way it is for the majority of people. Aren't thinking. Think the way you are. Get what you want. Do what you feels right. Listen. Just listen to what it is that you know in your heart of hearts. you have to do, you're supposed to do. Listen quietly.
Right?
Remove yourself from all
Your
the
purpose is
static. And
always,
what is it?
yeah, your purpose is always going to be your purpose. You just have to walk in it, right? Because you have that purpose for a reason. And a lot of times people struggle against what they were meant to do and what they're
Yes.
supposed to do because they are not trying to walk in their purpose. For me, I learned how to stay in my lane. I learned how to stay in my lane.
Yeah.
There's a I can work for anyone and stay in my lane, and that's not a problem. You know, and even with working with for myself, I have to remind myself every day, like, you know, understand your purpose. keep
What I've
focused,
worn so,
and it's not for
I've
everyone.
literally, no,
You know,
I've literally worn so many hats in my life that I go through my bio sometimes. I don't remember it. I can't even recall it, the places, the things, the spoken. I have to read my own bio to see what I've done in 30 years since he's passed. And then I think, but I really haven't done anything yet because I know that there's more need out there and I'm able to fill it. I was able to look at this dichotomy between the two people. He's a mid 40 ish man of color. Now, I may have color, but my biggest decisions at this age is what wig and turban do I put on because my hair is thinned out so terribly and I refuse to not look good. So think about it. We're looking at a woman 78, a widow, white, even if I'm tan. And we're looking at a man from, where are you from? Where were you born? Where's your ancestry?
I was born in Jamaica, the West.
There we go. I have a New York Jew who's a believer and a Jamaican man of color who's 30 years younger. Look at this. You don't think we got something that the world could want, that the world needs right now? Our country is miserable. The world is shaking, but our country is so sick that it needs us. It needs what you and I have. It needs you and what you're doing. And it needs me to put on a wig, some makeup, and go, do you have any idea how hard it is to be me every day?
Totally get it. Totally get it.
But it has been incredible. And I look back and I
It
and I
has
go,
been. It has been. You know, we've talked to some amazing people from around the country, and it's just been from all walks of life with all different experiences, and their stories are amazing. And I know I'm not generally on camera while these shows are going on, but I'm watching every single show as they're being um, taped and as they're being, you know, recorded. And it's a lot to like hear, you know, some of the things that people have gone through and
wow,
understand the struggles and just how they have overcome and how they've put their lives back together and how they've pieced together their new existence, and you know how their faith has taken them through those journeys and brought them to where they are now, and how their outlook on the future and their outlook on where they're going next and the amazing things that are coming out of that. And so
yeah,
you can't beat that, you know. And you're hearing people people's honest, raw, and you know, interesting stories. And you
they've
know,
laughed, they've cried, we've had everything.
we've had everything. So kudos to you.
And we didn't even know what we were doing. I mean, I said about a show like this, and then I said, people want to tell their story. So we put a link together and sent out links. And next thing you knew, I think we did, you said 23 or so shows. I mean, I wasn't every week at times, but because Matthew had a show. But in general, it just, I had no idea what I was doing. I was on my stationary bike most of the summer, and I was just buying from Timu. I had no idea why I was buying sunglasses and gloves and trashy jewelry, god awful, ugly jewelry. I pawned all the gold, silver, and diamonds years ago. But I just became this, and then the show came along, and I said, everybody needs a gimmick in show business. So I just put everything on and said, a nice little Jewish woman in Boca who's a believer, talks about HIV everywhere, writes her books, has this African American, this Jamaican partner, and she's done her hospice and taken care of her parents, and she's just done all these things. And I'm thinking, no, we haven't even begun. This is just a small part of us. Today is just a teeny part of us. I said to somebody, I said, a stranger is just a friend we haven't met. And he said, but some friends are meant to be strangers.
Yeah, you can't be friends with everybody.
Do you want to be? No, that's what the politicians do. They want
Nothing is
everybody.
wrong with that. Nothing is wrong with that. I think we live in a time where everybody wants to be friends with everybody. And the reality is that it's not. But what we can do is treat people with dignity and respect.
Right.
And treat them, like we should treat neighbors. And it's okay. It's okay. We don't have to be best Judies. We don't have to have brunch every weekend. We don't have to go shopping. We don't have to buy matching, t-shirts and
the onesies.
Shoes and onesies.
Yeah. I never knew what that was until Channing Tatum said that he dressed up in Halloween the onesies with his kid. And what's a onesie? I don't have any kids. I don't even like kids. So what is the big deal about kids? So he's talking about onesies. Then they go on Home Shopping Network or QVC, and they're talking about at Christmas time getting the onesies. No, there wasn't a onesie in my whole world.
No, it's okay because having kids is a whole different story. So yeah.
Yeah, no, but meeting you and doing this with you was right.
Well, thank you.
There was no one else who came along that I fit with for this type of a program, this type of a series, this type of episodes, this kind of communication.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing, and I'm glad we live in two separate cities, though we're not together, because I would make you crazy. That's why Jeffrey and I loved him, and we loved each other so passionately. But there was a time when we did have two homes in the same city, or had he been alive now, we probably would have been in two different continents. But in general, there was a love between us. But you stay in West Palm, I'll stay here on my little laptop in Boca. And our studio will be coming very soon.
Absolutely.
And we're going to take season 2 again to a whole nother level. We don't know where it's going, but we know it's going.
All right, folks. Well, thank you for having us. And thank you for watching all of the shows. Remember, you can see the shows every Monday night. On YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And you can go back either on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and you can check out all of the past shows, rewatch them, share them, follow. Continue to follow our Campbell Health Solutions Facebook page so this way you can know when the new season is starting, and you can see all the promos for those things coming up. Continue to check us out on TikTok and Instagram as well. We have tons of information on there. And don't forget to go to susanmintz.com and check out her books and check out some of her content. It's just been an amazing ride, and we are super excited for you to be a part of this as much as we have been super excited to be doing it and to be sharing this information. Remember, we have to stop HIV stigma, and the only way to know if you have HIV is to get an HIV test. You have to know your status for you, and so make sure you get tested. We offer free HIV testing always, and we have STD screenings and other services, like I said before. So prioritize your health, get tested. You can give us a call. And if you need connection to other resources, please, by all means, visit our website or give us a call at 561-208-6595. We also have some mobile screenings, so definitely you can reach out and we'll get you connected to that. So thank you again. You've been amazing viewers. You are amazing viewers, and we just want to thank you for the wonderful year we've had, and we look forward to the amazing year to come ahead.
God bless you all. And God bless you, Richardo Jackson.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. I'm going to take the hair off and the jewelry off and have a veggie burger so I can stay a size 4 when at the Academy Awards when my movie gets made.
Absolutely.
For sure.
For sure.